Hi everyone, and welcome to our Touchbase Thursday for Valentine's Day. I'm excited to get started here with you all in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to make sure that I'm actually live before we get started and that a couple of you are even out there and can comment for me to let me know that you are able to see me live here. I got lots of awesome things to share with you today, and I cannot wait to show you everything that I have to share with you. So again, we're just going to give it a minute here. If you are able to see me live, if you would please comment and let me know that you are out there, I would appreciate it. So first of all, happy Valentine's Day to all of you. We don't really celebrate Valentine's Day in our house. The girls, we do different things for them throughout the year, and so my husband and I, we just aren't big Valentine's Day people. But for those of you that are, hi Sonia, good, you guys are finding me over here. So anyway, I'm doing my Facebook Lives over on my Facebook page, and so I've been kind of really promoting that this last week, making sure all of you knew where to find me. And so anyway, I'm excited to share with you all of the wonderful things that I have to share with you tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, if I have any new viewers, my name is Kim Vogel, and I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for a little over 8 years, and I absolutely love it. And I've been doing Facebook Lives for about a year now, and kind of the structure of my Facebook Lives, I always have an order incentive. So if you put in a minimum order, you will be able to get the make and takes that I showcase for the evening. And I also do giveaways. So all you have to do is share my video and share this post onto your page, and you'll get entered into my drawing. And so the first thing that I do is I like to announce who the winners were for sharing my video from last week. Up for grabs last week, I had some of the epoxy hearts, and I had some of the velvet ribbon. And the winners of the velvet ribbon for sharing is Judy Squires. So congratulations, Judy. Hi Karen, I see Karen's out there, and Janie. Hi everyone. So Judy Squires, I hope I see you in a couple weeks. I'll give you your ribbon. And then the winner of the epoxy hearts is Marianne McGinnis. So Marianne, I will get these in the mail to you with a couple of the pieces that you need for that one card yet. So we'll get that in the mail for you in the next couple of days as well. So congratulations to our winners. Up for grabs this week is a bolt of the crumb cake ribbon and some of the Whisper White Baker's Twine. So again, all you need to do is share my video out there, and you will be able to get into the drawing to win one of those two prizes. And I only have a little bit in the way of announcements, and then we're going to go ahead and get started into what I'm going to share with you today. So announcements. I have my last call for my Stamp-A-Stat class, and I will be showing you that up close when I transition my camera to my stamp area. I have 2 kits left, so registration is open, I said, until February 18th, but I have enough supplies for 2 kits. So the next 2 people that want to register for that class, that class will then be closed. And I'll go over that in a little bit more detail. I want to talk to you about joining my team. I know I've mentioned this a lot during Celebration, but Celebration is the most amazing time of the year to consider joining Stampin' Up! And being part of our awesome Basement Bunch team. Stampin' Up's offered an amazing promotion for joining. You can get $175 of free product of your choice for only $99, or you can add on, bear with me while I reach it, this awesome tote. This tote will hold a big shot. It holds all of your crafting supplies. If you add this tote onto your starter kit, it's $129, and you still get that same $175 for free. So I know a handful of you have been taking advantage of that opportunity. It's a great deal. It's a great way to get lots of Stampin' Up! Supplies and product. So if you want to talk to me about that or want any additional details, let me know. That promotion runs through the end of March. So I would be more than happy to share that with all of you, because it's an amazing deal. And who doesn't want $76 in free stuff? Seriously. That kit is risk-free, so you don't have to do anything after purchasing that kit. However, if you want to, you can get 20% off of all of your orders. I mean, there's like lots of perks to being part of the Stampin' Up! Family. So if you want additional information about that, let me know, and I'd be happy to share that with all of you. And then I have a new Stamp-A-Stat class that's going to be coming out, and Nicole just handed it to me because I left it over on my table. And it is a sympathy card Stamp-A-Stack. I had a couple of requests for people who wanted some sympathy cards, and I don't have the yellow one here, but this is my Stamp-A-Stack class that I am offering. I'm also offering this class as part of my Cystic Fibrosis Creative Escape Weekend. So Missy, I know you're watching. This is the class you've already purchased with your registration for that Cystic Fibrosis Creative Escape Weekend. But the class is 16 cards. It includes a bolt of ribbon, it includes the sequins, and all the cut pieces to be able to put these cards together. So very, very fun. And I will show those up close when I transition to our stamp table as well. But I love that. Now that stamp set is called the Something Lily, Lovely Lily, Lasting Lily. And that stamp set's something you can get for free with a $100 purchase during celebration, but Missy will be able to just use mine at that event. So if anybody else is going to the Cystic Fibrosis event and you're interested in that class, let me know and I can hook you up with that. So I talked a little bit about my Cystic Fibrosis Creative Escape Weekend. I know most of you have seen me post about it. I have 4 spots open and we cap at 60. I am so humbled. It's amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, we have 4 spots open for anybody else who is available or might want to come to that event. All of the proceeds go to Cystic Fibrosis. A lot of people have asked me how I know the young man that we do this in memory of. One of my very good friends, it was her son, and he passed away waiting for a transplant. So we've done this event in his memory ever since, and it's our 6th year, and it just keeps growing and getting bigger and better thanks to all of you guys. So anyway, as you guys know, today is February 14th, so Valentine's Day, but for me it means tomorrow is the start of second release celebration. So I know that I shared with all of you the awesome paper and stamp set that is available during our second release. This paper right here is one of my favorites, and it was actually my featured card that I did on my Facebook Live, or not Facebook Live, my YouTube video this last week, and it was also my swap card at an event that I went to. But you can get this bundled together, the stamp set and the paper, for free with a $100 order. And then they also have an awesome embossing folder that goes and coordinates with it. Now that you can get for free with a $50 order. So you're probably thinking, oh my gosh, $150 to get all this? If you buy a couple of our bundles, the stamp set and the coordinating framelits, you could easily get this for free. Anybody who does put in a $150 order to get all of this for free, you would get the Stampin' Rewards for that order, which is $15 of product for free of your choice. So that is something that I do if anybody puts in that minimum $150 order. And then you'll also get the ordering promotion tonight, which would be getting my make and takes that I'm going to be showing you absolutely free. So let me see if I have anything else in the way of announcements here. Again, make sure you guys know to share my video, get my name out there, let people know what I offer and what I do. And if any of you are new out there, after I'm done being live, I will post out there different ways you can find me on social media. But I'm on YouTube. You can subscribe to my channel. I'm on Pinterest. I have my Facebook group and a page that you're welcome to be in both. They're both kind of the same, but the page helps me reach more people. And my group is where I kind of call my community of people that have already gotten to know me or watching me regularly, that sort of thing. So I encourage you to be part of both of those. And you can also join my mailing list. If you join my mailing list, you would get emails for all of my online classes and my local classes and kits and things that I offer. So I offer a lot of stuff. I have a scrapbooking club that I offer both here in my basement, as well as an online kit in the mail kind of scrapbook club, card classes, card clubs, all kinds of things. So with that, I'm going to transition down and show you guys some really cute projects. And what I focused on this week was the beautiful How Sweet It Is Designer Series paper. It is what I focused on for my retreat that I have, my 12-hour retreat that I have on Saturday. And so I ended up making a couple extra projects that I thought I would share with all of you tonight on my Facebook Live. And I love this card that I'm going to be showcasing for you. So I'm going to transition down to my stamp table, and you guys are going to look at an empty chair for a minute and a pretty backdrop. And I'll be right with you as I turn my camera down and get started with my make and takes for tonight. So bear with me here. So the first thing that you guys are going to be seeing is my Stamp-A-Stack class that only has a couple openings left. If it's something that you're interested in, there is a link on my page if you scroll down to be able to sign up for all of my classes right online, and you pay for them through PayPal. And they ship to you pretty quick. I'm pretty quick with getting them out. I have Nicole now that helps me on a regular basis getting those kits out. Let me just turn my computer around so that I can see some of you guys' comments here as well, because that helps keep me on task. So these are my my Stamp-A-Stack cards, and these cards again can be yours for $38. It includes a whole bolt of ribbon, and it includes the, I'm trying to think what else it includes, the whole pack of the paper. I will use your paper to cut your cards from, but then you get the rest of it. So it's a pretty good deal, actually. And so again, this is my Stamp-A-Stack class. Registration ends in just 3 days, or if I have 2 more people that sign up for it, it will officially be sold out. And you will get all the supplies to make 4 of each one of these cards. Okay, so really cute, simple cards. And let me show you my my sympathy Stamp-A-Stack class. And this is similar. I love these colors, and they're perfect for sympathy cards. This is the Stamp-A-Stack. There's also a yellow one. I just can't find it right now, but it's here somewhere. But these are the Stamp-A-Stack class that I'm offering as part of my Retreat in a Box. So if any of you signed up for my Retreat in a Box, you will be getting this class as well. You're going to be getting the bolt of ribbon and some other things to be able to put these cards together. It's also a 16 card Stamp-A-Stack class, so that you can also, I like the Stamp-A-Stacks, that I call it Stamp-A-Stack because you're able to get a lot of cards in the class without a whole lot of work. But aren't they pretty? And they're just perfect for sympathy. And if you didn't want to use them for sympathy, they'd be great birthday cards, or great any kind of occasion cards. So anyway, that class will go out here in the next couple of days for registration. However, if you bought my Retreat in a Box and you signed up for the Stamp-A-Stack class or the Stamp-A-Stack class during my Creative Escape weekend, this is what you're going to be getting. So I don't want you guys to sign up for it twice. Okay, so what I want to share with you tonight is some of the products in Stampin' Up's How Sweet It Is bundle, and I love it. So gorgeous. So a lot of you have seen the paper. I've been posting about it for a long time, but I wanted to show you guys it in up close and personal and in detail. It's very springy, very pretty, and I really like working with it. It's been so fun to work with. So let me show you some of the patterns in the paper. You get this really pretty bubble gum looking paper on one side, and the other side's more of your plain side. So let's just go through the one side first. This one right here is probably my favorite. I love the stripes in this and love how pretty that paper is. And these two go so well together, and these are the two that I'm focusing on tonight in my card that I'm going to be making for you. And there's your gummy bears. How cute is that? And then you have cupcakes and lollipops and candy. And then on the opposite side, you have more of your plain paper patterns, so they're not going to be quite as busy as the other ones are. But I like that, because that way you have some good variety to be able to work with. If you wanted one that's a little bit more busy and one that isn't quite as busy, it really gives you that versatility to be able to work with. This one I think is gorgeous as well. So what I'm going to share with you tonight is a card that was actually on display at our event that I was at last weekend. I was at a leadership event. And this card was created by my friend Dawn Bourgette, and with her permission, I'm going to be sharing it with you tonight. And then I'm going to also share with you a different version that I made using the same technique. Now, my ordering promotion tonight is if anybody puts in a minimum $30 order from now through Sunday, you will be able to receive the make and takes that I'm sharing with you tonight. There are 3 make and takes, and you will get all of the supplies to be able to put these together, except for the gumballs that I have in one of the projects, because it's going to be, I want to ship them flat, and it's going to be really hard to share that with you. So anyway, this information is also on my website. If you just go to kimsbasementbunch.com and click on shop online, the host code is right there. Any $30 order from now through Sunday night will get you these make and takes. So the first thing that I wanted to showcase for you guys was some of Stampin' Up's amazing packaging that they have to offer. Because sometimes I think when we are looking at making projects for party favors, sometimes I think we forget about the things that will make it really, really easy. Like these awesome little tiny treat boxes. Now these tiny treat boxes we used for my son Matt and Nicole's wedding, and my mom put over 200 and some of these together. But they go together really, really quickly. And I'm not even sure how much they are in the catalog. They're in the annual catalog. You get 16 boxes. I think they're like $7 or $8. So they're really pretty inexpensive. But these boxes are already all pre-scored and so simple for you to be able to just quickly and simply put these boxes together. Okay, and I'm not going to actually take the time to do it all because I think you get the gist of it. But these boxes just simply go together and it will hold some little treats. Okay. And I'm going to show you the one that this is great for a birthday. So my theme today is kind of a birthday, if you got invited to a birthday party. So I'm going to share with you my project that I've created. This is the cute little tiny treat box. Look how cute that is. And I am going to actually, I think, take the time to fold one up because I want to actually decorate it with you and show you again how quick and simple this goes together. So let me just put these together. Push that up and in there. There you have a cute little tiny treat box. So then what I did is I used some of the designer series paper from the paper stack. This is cut 2 by 6, and what I did is I scored it at both 2 and at 4. And when you adhere the paper, you want to adhere it where you're not going to be opening the box. So I adhered it around the side opposite. So let me show you how I did that. Nicole, could you get me some glue dots, please? Yes. As I'm calling out for glue dots, because glue dots is the easiest way in which to put this paper on here. If my mom was watching, I'm sure she'd say, oh my gosh, deja vu all over again, because she did a lot of these boxes for us. But all I'm going to do is I'm going to put a glue dot on both ends of this piece of paper. And again, I've scored it. The boxes are 2 by 2 by 2. So it's very easy to be able to put the paper on there and then you can still see through it to see all of the goodies. So I'm going to do it on this side right here. And I'm just going to start it at the very top. I have a score line there. I'm going to crease that really good. I'm going to bring this over and it goes right up to there. Okay, and I did it the opposite side of where this opens so that I'm not going to interfere with that opening. Okay. Then what I did is I used our Starburst punch, and those of you that have been watching me and following me, you know that I'm a huge punch person. I really like, man, I really don't have it together. I don't even have any adhesive here. I've got scissors, and I've got, as she's walking here with some adhesive, you guys, this is what you get when you're live, right? Thank you, Nicole. Okay, and so then I used some of that designer series paper, and I'm going to use more of the plain pattern, and I just adhered this onto my scalloped part here. And then I just put a little bit of adhesive on this and adhered this to the top. Now, there are framelits that coordinate with this bundle as well. So in the bundle, you get the stamp set, and then you can also get the coordinating framelits. Now, the framelits cut out, let me show you. Did I maybe forget that one piece of paper? I may have. Let me show you guys the piece of paper that I forgot to show you. Okay. There was one more stuck in here. So this is the piece of paper that I forgot to show you. And this one right here has the 3 framelits that will cut these jars out. And these framelits right here, the neat thing is you can cut all 3 out at once. I just cut this apart right here in the middle, and I placed the 3 of them on there, and I was able to cut all 3 of them at the exact same time. So it made it really, really quick and really, really nice. The gumball machine, which is on the paper, does not have a framelit to coordinate. So those I did have to hand cut. But I wanted to share with you guys how I do my hand cutting, because I call it fussy cutting, but a lot of people don't really care for it. But I have found a way that really works well for me. So a lot of times when people are cutting out their images, they go too close to the image and it takes away the detailed edge. So when I cut mine, I actually leave all of this white excess on here, if you guys can see that. And I don't really move my scissors, I move my paper. So my scissors are kind of staying stationary. Let me get rid of some of that excess so you guys can see here. and I move my paper where I want it to go. So the paper's moving, my scissors really aren't. Which makes it really, really, really nice because you're able to, I think, anyway, for me, have a little bit better control over my cutting the way I'm doing this. So, and they went really, really fast. This is not anything hard to cut out, but aren't they adorable? And then what I did is I bought gumballs to put inside of this cute little treat box. I know, really cute and clever, right, guys? So anyway, and then from there, what I did is I just adhered this gumball machine onto my project like so. And then part of our suite of products with this is the reversible Coastal Cabana Granny Apple Green ribbon. Now this ribbon's on low inventory, so if it's something that you want, I encourage you to get it sooner than later. It's been very, very popular, and you can see why these bright colors have been so fun to work with. And then all I did was I tied this around my box. So if you were going to a birthday party, how quick and simple would it be to make a cute little box like this? Gumballs I got on Amazon, for any of you wondering. You guys probably could have already guessed that with me. Those of you that have been following me and know that I'm a huge Amazon person. And I probably should have tied this before I put the little gumball machine on there, but and I cut way too much ribbon, but it's okay. Again, nothing fancy, just a little simple bow, or not even. I didn't even tie a bow. I did a knot. Because to me, they're a little bit simpler than tying a bow. Okay, so there you have it. Cute, simple. And then you're just going to cut these at an angle. Now this one I did purposely so that the Granny Apple Green ribbon would show more than the Coastal Cabana, but there you get a different kind of look to that cute little box. Isn't that adorable? And what kid would not love this whole thing full of gumballs? Like, really, isn't that cute? So that is the first little thing I wanted to share with you. The next one is, and I did a video on this a while back, a YouTube video on my Terrific Tuesdays, but this is the pillow boxes that Stampin' Up! Sells as well. These are already made boxes. When you purchase them, they come in a pack of, I think, 10 as well. And these they come completely flat like this, and you have to actually put them together. When you put them together, they have a score line there for you to be able to see to put them together very quick and easily. And you want to put it together with this notch side up. That is for when people go to open up to get the goodies out. They have a little notch for their finger. And this goes together again very quickly, very simply. So sometimes when people are wanting a little goodie bag of some sort, they're thinking that they need to make something. And again, I encourage you to check in the catalog because we have awesome packaging already done for you. Hi, Denise. Denise hasn't been on in a while. So good to see Denise. So from there, I created this cute little belly band that I am just going to slide on here. And I'm going to tell you how I made this cute little belly band. What I like about this belly band is you do not have to open or take this off to be able to get into the box. Again, it adds some cute little decoration to the box. You could put Laffy Taffy in here, gum, just a little bit of anything. And the same concept that I did with this one, you can see that I used the, this one I actually used the 2 1/4 inch punch with the scallop or the starburst punch. And then I used the another little candy jar, put my bow on there. This piece of paper right here is 2 by 9, and then I scored it at 4 1/4, and then just glued the end of it together so that you have this opening for a band. And I simply put that on here like that, and voila, you have a cute, cute little project as well. So that is make and take number 2. The next one is the one I'm going to be focusing more of my time on, and I love it. So this is what we call a double Z fold card. So I'm sure some of you that have been watching my posts from the weekend when I was gone, you probably saw this card be posted, and a lot of you were oohing and ahhing over it. which is why I asked Dawn if she cared if I showcased this card today on my Facebook Live, and she said that she did not mind at all. So just so you guys know, after I'm done with my Facebook Live, I will be in the description of this video putting the measurements so that you'll be able to have these measurements for you to be able to make this card and duplicate it on your own. Now, because this card is bigger, we have to make an envelope to coordinate with it, and so I'm going to also share with you guys how to use the envelope punch board to make an envelope. Isn't that awesome? Okay, so let me find my measurements here because I do have everything written down. Oh, and this is the envelope that I made for it to kind of give you guys an idea, out of designer series paper, a cute little envelope. So that is what we are going to be making. I need to find my measurements here. I know I have them here somewhere. And if I don't, you guys, I will post them all here in just a little bit because I'm not sure I'm able to find my, I'll have Nicole come and peek and dig through my stuff, but I had them written on a piece of paper that I had folded over, and I know I had them here, but now I can't find them. Okay, so we are going to start with a piece of paper, piece of Whisper White cardstock that is cut, I believe it is cut 5.5 by 11, and if not, like I said, I will be posting all of these out there here in just a little bit. But I believe that this is cut 5.5 by 11, and then we did some scoring at 2 1/4 and at 5.5. Okay, and then from there we cut some designer series paper. This and some actually coordinating cardstock. This is cut 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. This is cut 5 by 5. Again, there's going to be lots of layering onto this card. That's just the nature of the beast when you have. You know, cards that you're making lots of layering with. And then we have one that is cut 5 1/4 by 2, I believe. And this one is then cut 5 1/2. Okay, you guys, I'm not going to tell you all the measurements because we're not able to, I had them all written down on a piece of paper, so I will post them later because I have them on my phone as well. But again, these are all just layering mats that are a little bit different sizes, 1/4 of an inch. We're going to glue those down and adhere those in here. And again, this is simple cutting, so I don't feel too bad because once you guys see the concept of how this goes together, you will have no problem whatsoever with the measurements. The measurements are all pretty straight and even measurements, so there's nothing unique about the measurements at all or the scoring. And so these are my two favorite colors out of this paper pack, which is why I chose to use these two. And those are going to, again, go right down inside of this card. Okay, so now we're going to fold the card in half. So that's my main base, my first part of the card. And then you're going to fold this one over. So there's your first Z, okay? And then we are going to bring in the next piece. Again, all of these measurements will be posted for you guys. I want you guys to be able to have them. But this piece is also cut, I want to say it's 9 1/4 by 3 1/2, something like that. And there's some scoring added at 5 and at 2 1/4 as well. And again, just layering some pieces of cardstock in here. I'm so sorry, you guys, but seriously, I'd rather have you guys just watch me right now, and then you can go back later and get all of the dimensions, and then be able to actually try to make this card. So I love to see what you guys make. So if any of you design this card, please share it and let me see it on my page and share it with others. We all love to see what everyone designs. So you know, please feel free to do that. Then we also have, again, lots of layering, lots of cardstock, which is what makes this card so pretty. I'll layer that on there. So again, you can receive this card in the mail with all the pieces cut for you to be able to put together with just a $30 order. My website is kimsbasementbunch.com, and I appreciate anybody who orders through me. That's the best compliment you can give, is duplicating my projects and putting in, oh, Nicole found my paper, and putting in orders to make some awesome cards like this. Now, this is a card that I probably would not make just to make 20 million of them. This would be a card that I would make to give to somebody as a special occasion, just because there's a lot to it. From there, I am going to bring in a stamp set that is called Birthday Cheer. And Birthday Cheer, I'm going to be using this Time for a Spectacular Celebration stamped image. And we're going to stamp it right here on this part. And I'm going to use the Gorgeous Grape ink, because I am in love with this Gorgeous Grape ink. So let me ink this up, and we are just going to stamp this up near the top. And then I'm going to also do some watercoloring with all of you to show you how to watercolor with the aqua painter. A lot of you have been asking the difference between the aqua painter and the blender pens. So we're going to use the aqua painters and actually show you how to do that. So from here, we are going to do the same thing. We're going to fold this in half and fold this back over. So there in part comes your second double Z. Now, the easiest way for me to tell you to glue these two together is to put some adhesive on this part right here. And this is the part that you're going to center. Let me actually put some adhesive on here first, and then I'll explain to you what you're going to do. So I actually put this down right in the center of this piece right here. So there's a score line right there. So this piece right here, you're going to put this down in the center the best you can, like that. And then this piece is going to get glued down, but only to the very end of here. So I'm going to only put adhesive. I'm going to put 2 lines of adhesive on this end, because that's the only part of that that I want to glue down. And you have a double Z full card. Isn't that awesome? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So from there, what I did, let me bring my sample back in, is I added some embellished stamped images on here, and these I actually watercolored, and I actually have some watercolor paper here, and we are going to do some watercoloring. So I want you guys to be able to see, oh, thank you guys for the thumbs up, I love it. But I want you guys to be able to see how easy it is to watercolor, and mine is not perfect. Okay, I am far from perfect with watercoloring, but I really like how watercoloring really gives you a nice, bright, subtle look. Bright and subtle at the same time. So again, I'm going to go back to our Birthday Cheer stamp set, and I'm using these 3 stamped images right down here. So let me bring in some watercolor paper. Our watercolor paper comes in a package. You get, I want to say it's 5 pieces, but our watercolor paper is designed for full-on watercoloring, where you can actually, it can take on quite a bit of water. Now, when you're going to be doing watercoloring, you want to make sure that you use the right black ink. So you're going to want to use your StazOn black, not your Memento black. The Memento black, you would smear the lines. Your StazOn black is designed for watercoloring. Those lines will not smear whatsoever. And so I'm going to actually show you some watercoloring with the gift here. So let me ink this up really good. And well, it helps to take off the little plastic part of your ink pad. Boy, I'm having an off night tonight, aren't I, you guys? Thank you guys for bearing with me and sticking out with me, sticking around, because I kind of feel like I'm making tons of mistakes tonight. Okay, so there's our stamped image. And then from there, we're going to do some of the watercoloring like I had mentioned. And on mine, I used some Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to bring in the Coastal Cabana ink. I used Granny Apple Green. I used Melon Mambo, and I used Crushed Curry. Now, the yellow that's in our paper is actually Pineapple Punch, but I liked the fact that the Crushed Curry gave me a little bit more of a brighter image that I wanted to have for watercoloring. I'm also going to bring in some paper so that I can make a mess here without ruining what I have there. Okay, so these are our aqua painters. You get 2 of them, and they come, you get 2 of them, I think, for $16. One has a little bit of a wider brush than the other. And I'm going to start with the Coastal Cabana, and what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze your ink pad. That puts some ink into your lid. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this ink color from my lid, and I am just going to color in this gift. Now the water is already in here. I should have mentioned that you want to unscrew this here. That's where you add your water. And I'm not squeezing much water out. My brush is plenty wet right now. So I am just using some of the ink and off the lid and already the water that I have on my brush. And I'm going to color this image in. And watercoloring is very relaxing because I feel like you can just kind of sit here and let the water absorb, and if you want it darker, you can make it darker. And if your brush is too wet, like mine's a little too wet, you can always just kind of dab it off. But I want to get some more ink in there because I want this to be really good and a bright color. Okay, here we go. So now we got some more ink. We're going to add some more to this. So if it's not the color that you want, you just keep coloring on top. It's going to look really wet. I'm not sure if you guys can see how wet this looks, but it will absorb in. This paper is designed to take on water, like I said, which is why if you're going to be doing true watercoloring, you want watercolor paper. Now our blender pens, I use more with our watercolor pencils to kind of color in the image with the mark or with the watercolor pencil, and then you can kind of blend it in. But I love the watercolor look that you get by actually using these aqua painters. So, and because they're a little bit bigger, the precision of getting right where you want is a little bit harder to do, but it's so fun. And my girls love to watercolor. They almost will fight over who's going to help me when it comes to watercoloring. Okay, so I am done with the Coastal Cabana. So I have Coastal Cabana ink on the end of this. All you're going to do is squeeze it onto your piece of paper till you get most of that color out. It happens pretty quickly. And then you're going to move on to the next color. So I'm now going to bring in my Granny Apple Green. And I have noticed that with our newer ink pads, they are a little bit harder to squeeze the ink together to get ink in the lid. So if you can't get ink in the lid, I've been taking it right off of my ink pad and it has been just fine. It has not been bothering my ink pad at all. So I just kind of dab it off the edge a little bit because this I kind of want to be a nice vivid green. Look at how pretty these colors are together. I love it. And I'm going to only take the time to color this one with you guys because I think you'll get the idea of how fun it is to color. But if you don't have the aqua painters yet, I encourage you to get them and have some fun experimenting. But I do also encourage you to get the watercolor paper because you're not going to get the same look with our regular cardstock. If you were to use our regular white cardstock, you would need to move really quick. You don't have much leeway with these projects because it will start to tear the paper on you because it's not designed to adhere, or I should say absorb, all of that water. Whereas this is. Look how pretty that is, you guys. I love it. So again, I'm just going to get all that green out of there, same kind of way. Squeeze until you kind of get most of that out. And then I'm going to bring in the crushed curry. And you guys can see that when I made my sample that I have some of this ink still in here. The crushed curry is what I used to color the tag itself. And then I used the Melon Mambo to do that center heart. So what I did is I coordinated the colors that are in this paper, again, for the coordination of products and to have it all look uniform. Because that's kind of what I wanted it to look like. So again, getting rid of the yellow out of there. So if you were making these in large quantities, you would want to, color all of one color all at once. And look at the ink in there. And that way you wouldn't have to keep changing out your brush. But for purposes of tonight, I'm just doing the one, so I keep changing it out to show you. But look how pretty that is. Isn't that awesome? I'll bring it in closer to the camera so you guys can see that as well. And then I'm going to move my messy, watered piece of paper out of the way. But look how pretty that is. So you're going to let that dry, and you can see that it's I had a mistake there, but you can see that that has not hurt that cardstock at all, this watercolor paper. That's what it's designed for, and for you to have lots of fun with it. So let me move that out of the way. So from there, I just hand cut those out with a pair of paper snips. I adhered the present here. I did the one with the birthday hat there, and the cupcake one there. Isn't that awesome? So let me show you guys another version of this card that I created. Those of you that are going to be attending my cystic fibrosis event, this is one of your make and takes. It's your main make and take. I know you guys are going to love me because it's going to be a lot of cutting. My mother-in-law loves to cut, so she's going to be cutting this beautiful card for all of you. Another version of the exact same one. If you remember last week, I shared with you the Floral Romance product suite. Well, here is the same Z-fold card in that, using that product suite instead. Isn't it gorgeous? And then I actually, with that one, made an envelope using the vellum cardstock that comes with that as well. So let me show you guys how I made the envelope, since that's the next thing that I want to make sure that you guys see or know how to do. So if you don't have the envelope punch board yet, add it to your list, because this envelope punch board can do so many amazing things, including making, most of you have seen me make my famous suckers. You've seen me make all kinds of awesome things using this envelope punch board. And so I'm here today to show you guys how to use it, because a lot of people buy it and then they forget how to use it. And I love it. I use it for making envelopes for candy bars, all kinds of things. So first of all, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the measurements on this envelope punch board. So here on the bottom, you have, I hope you guys can see this okay, but here on the bottom, you have the different measurements. It says card size, paper size, and score line. So when it says card size, that is actually whatever the item is that you're putting into an envelope. So don't let that deceive you that it has to be a card. This could be a Hershey candy bar. This could be a gift card. This could be one of these great big cards that I did. It can be anything that you want it to be. Okay, so whenever you have something that you want to make, you want to measure the size of it so that you know how big your paper has to be. So this card right here that I am making this for is 5.5 by 5.5. I measured it in advance, and it's 5.5 by 5.5. So on my little envelope punch board, I had to look for the measurement 5.5 by 5.5, which is right down here. I'm pointing to it. Make sure you guys can see it. It's right here, 5.5. Where was it? 5.5 by 5.5 right here. And it tells me that my paper size needs to be 9 by 9. Okay, and so that is really important to know. Card size is whatever you are putting in the envelope. It does not have to be a card. Okay, so I have cut in advance a piece of designer series paper, 9 by 9, since that's what this little gadget told me it needed. I'm going to now zoom out a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better with what I'm going to be doing. So it tells me then that my score line on this project, so again at 5.5 by 5.5 is my card size, my paper size is 9 by 9, so my score line is 4.25. So up here on the top, you have your score line. It tells me that mine is 4.25. So I am going to put this, actually it's 4.5, I thought it was. So I'm going to put this at 4.5, and what I'm going to do, so it's 4.5, maybe you guys can see that, 4.5, and from there I'm going to punch. Now it's going to shake my camera a little bit, and then I'm going to take this little device that I pulled out of my end here. This is called your scoring blade, scoring knife, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to score. So I punched and scored, and you can see this little area right here that allows that to go in there perfectly. So again, I put that at 4.5, I punched the top, and I scored it. Okay, so that put a notch in there for me. Now I don't need to use this top part ever again. So what I'm going to be doing from here on out is using the guide that I just made right here, this line, as my guide. So next I'm going to put this line and line it up with that score line, that little notch. Let me bring it in so you guys can see. So I have this line right here. I'm lining it up with this. So I am not using this again. You only use that for the very first score line. So I'm going to line that up, and I'm going to punch again, and I'm going to score, and then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to do that again, lining this up with that line that I just created. I'm going to punch and score, and one last time, turning it, I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to punch and score. I see lots of comments from people that love their punch board. I do too. I'm so glad you guys like it and use it a lot. Okay, so I have all of my scoring done now for my envelope. The awesome neat thing about this envelope punch board is that on this side, right here on the back side, if you put this inside of here, let me make sure you guys can see that. And if you punch, it corner rounds those corners for you to make your envelope look a little bit more professional. And I really like that idea of being able to do that. So I'm just going to corner round that. So now I'm going to actually move my envelope punch board out of the way. And I tell everyone when I train on this envelope punch board, always put your little stylus back into the slot, because if you lose that, you're going to have to get a whole new envelope punch board or find something else to use, because Stampin' Up! Does not sell replacements on those. So from here, I'm going to simply fold on my score lines and make an envelope. Look at how awesome this is. And I'm going to fold this one up. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on here and here. And this part is going to just simply fold down. And now you have an envelope that this card will fit perfectly into. Look at this. And then you could just put a little glue down on there, or a little bit of adhesive to adhere that down. And with that card and this awesome little party favor, you have the perfect gift to take to someone for a birthday party, whether it be a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, even an adult. Who wouldn't love getting a card like this? What I like about this card as well is that it's a nice one to just leave up and sit up. Your guests can leave it up like this. It'll sit. They can see it really well. Isn't that gorgeous? I know you guys can't see it, but when it's sitting up, it just is even more pretty. So anyway, I hope that you guys liked this project that I shared with you tonight. Like I said, as soon as I'm done, I'm going to be going out there and putting in the measurements for all of you right in the description of the video, right there where it says Touchbase Thursday for February 14th. You will have the dimensions to make this card. And also for the envelope, you'll be able to make those. I'm also going to bring in the other one that I showcased tonight. This is just, again, the exact same thing using different paper. And this is actually one of the make and takes for my cystic fibrosis event. I couldn't resist. It's something unique and different, and I loved it. And so we're going to be making that with a coordinating envelope. And this envelope, I actually used the vellum. So how awesome would this be for an anniversary card for your spouse, or for a special someone, or a birthday, or I mean like a Mother's Day card, or really anything. It's just simply gorgeous and stunning. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed my projects tonight. You know, and again, the coordination of these is what makes it so nice. Look how awesome the two go together, and also this cute little pillow box. So just as a reminder, anybody who puts in a $30 order will be able to receive these 3 make and takes for absolutely free. You will have to put the card together, but you will receive all of the supplies to do that. I unfortunately will not be able to include the gumballs, but those you can get at any store. But it will include a box and the paper and ribbon, everything you need to put these cute little projects together, and also the envelope that you need as well. You just need to visit kimsbasementbunch.com. And there is right at the very top, there is a Shop Now button with a host code. And again, any $30 order gets you these 3 projects mailed to you next week. And again, I love the suite. I love the brightness of it. Here in Michigan, as most of you who might be watching me, you know that we've been suffering with awful weather, tons of snow days for our kids, and ice and cold, and this has really been cheerful for me to play with, which is why I think I keep playing with it, because it's just been so fun to do. Again, this ribbon's on low inventory, so if it's on your wish list, I encourage you to get it sooner than later. And I look forward to being back with all of you next week, same place here on my Facebook page. And I will be showcasing for you the Well-Written bundle, which is an amazing bundle in our occasions catalog that I haven't really had a chance to share with any of you yet. So I'll be making some really cute cards and projects with that bundle. So thank you all so very much, and thanks for joining me over on my Facebook page. I hope that you've enjoyed these projects. And again, you have until Sunday night at midnight to get those orders in to be able to receive these projects in the mail. Thanks everyone for stopping tonight and stamping with me, and stay warm and happy Valentine's Day, and we will see you all back next week. Bye.